Okay, so this is why I think the Jehovah's Witnesses are fucking, and doing all this weird shit. Um, James Kitchen, when he had just gotten back from Brazil, he say he wouldn't. He got back a week ago beforehand, and then started to, he was telling me, yeah, man. I mean, he had a problem out there with some homegirl. The bitch didn't want to fuck him or some shit, and she wanted to fuck some other dude. I guess she was like, they didn't tell him that he'd be forever, and he was trying to see if we could get his dick wet, and she just anyway, um, straight up, he was all like, yeah, the day he left, I guess that's when the whole fucking, bridge collapse thing happened, or the fucking dam. Okay, well, and I went to church with him on a Sunday, and then they were all talking about the whole Brazil thing, the dam, and just being negative and stuff like God destroys and da 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 da. And he was on some fucking apocalypse blah 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 stuff. Well, we went to go eat earlier, and then Keith Murray back in 2015, he was like, well, Jesus already won the battle. It's like 2,000 years of peace. So I think they're just getting confused and stuff. But anyway, uh, 10 Jehovah's Witnesses were at the same area where the dam collapsed. They all were there visiting Paper Trail. They came back, a little bit before, or as they were taking off, that's when the dam, fucking went to the shit. They come back within 4 days. I'm sitting there, he's been trying to get a hold of me or whatever. Um, he gets a hold of me. I decided to go hang out because I wouldn't mind to marry his daughter. And I go to the church, and it's the same smells that I've been smelling in the house every time we're ambushed, like an aerosol, but like it just knocks you out or some shit. And it was all over the fucking church, like it was beyond fucking obvious. And that's when I went out to let the authorities know that I was like, done a little work with the feds, and this happened during the Obama administration. What the fuck? And none of my calls would go through. They have a jammer, a phone jammer inside the fucking uh, church. I mean, because it's obvious now. Now I know. And then he was just, look afraid that I knew what was going on. So then after church, they all just kind of, the same people that went to the Brazil were talking about that it was just kind of a coincidence that they were, uh, in the same town that the dam disrupted, and they couldn't believe that it happened. Okay, and but when they said it, they were like, "Yeah, it was a coincidence," meow meow meow, like they had pretty much fucking did it. And then one of the other gentlemen was like, "Yeah, like what about Lake San Rayburn?" I didn't like to hear this. You know what I'm saying? Because I volunteered with the Texas State Guard, and uh, that's one area that is supposed to be very protected, but they're rationing and stuff. So anyway, I didn't think to say anything about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to. After the U.S. Marshals did not heed my warning that he was Frederick McLean, they just completely let him go. Or Verizon or somebody fucking hacked my phone or some shit. Or none of the calls went through because the neighbor has a jammer inside her house. So none of the calls go through. So that would explain a lot too. Um, anyway, um, I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? This dude was Frederick McLean. He just looked like he had some badass fucking surgery. But I mean, if Tom Miranda, U.S. Marshals, would have came out there, he'd be like, oh, you son of a bitch, you're Frederick McLean. And then he kept mentioning, saying he was making maps of where he was gonna put like things the exact same thing that Frederick McLean had, like like he'd put holes and stuff around his house. And I was just like, dude, what the fuck? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And anyway, finally after he left town, um, the exact same situation happened uh, in Australia. And at first it was cool that it had happened in Brazil because Australia was making some money, but then Australia got fucked over. So they got Brazil, Australia, and now um, I don't know what I he used to work for Sunbelt Technologies out in Florida or one of those uh, solar companies and stuff. And I guess the Jehovah's Witness Church has got a lot of investments in solar technology panels that they're disrupting other power sources for the simple purpose to beef up their investments in stocks. Which I guess if you have enough resources and you have corrupt son of a bitches in the UN that'll let you fucking do that shit, as you see, and overpower our American government and stuff. Not that anything has happened here yet, but we can't allow it to happen. And these motherfuckers are good, dude. When I'm saying they come in quick. Like fucking, like just like one little spray. They've already made keys to the house. You know what I'm saying? I'm convinced that neighbor has had plenty of time to make keys to the house. We've left this door many times open, not suspected that she's basically, you know, a fucking renewable energy freak, and they're willing to commit terroristic acts against all other places and stuff like that. She and I don't know if she's in on anything, but what I'm saying is, I know they all communicate. These witnesses all do, and fuck, even with a badass surveillance team, they still managed to overpower me. In the surveillance team, I know I got a few neighbors that are supposed to be watching me, but these motherfuckers are good. They get past her every time. It might be. I don't know. I don't know. I keep thinking the neighbor that lives right there is law enforcement, but I don't know if he is law enforcement. Because if he's not law enforcement, then that's the son of a bitch right there. So, that kind of shit. So, uh, yeah. Uh, Lake San Raymond might be a target for them. And if it's not a target, then other dams might be targets. Or other electricity sources might be targets. Alright, Jehovah's Witnesses have the biggest fucking headquarters out in New York. Do y'all remember a few months ago when that transformer blew up and it scared the shit out of everybody? The same people that went to Brazil, that were here in Orange, witnesses, were also in New York at the same time for a wet event. And I'm willing to bet, because he left town, after he left town, they got the U.S. Marshals involved and they overpowered the U.S. Marshals. Um, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard some steps right there, which there might be right there. I mean, they're that quick. Once they overpowered the U.S. Marshals, I want to say within a week or 2 weeks after the Marshals actually got involved, this event happened in Australia. And then I don't know. They knew they couldn't do it here Because then I would have totally brought up, if it happened here, I'd be like, these 10 motherfuckers right here are the ones that did it. You know what I'm saying? They just got back from Brazil. Check their fucking passports and shit. You know what I'm saying? But, they fucking made it through. Those little fuckers. So, um, oh, and it doesn't have too much to do with they being a fucking, how do you say? You know, a doomsday cult like church. It has more to do with the fact that their church uses hedge funds to hold their money, and hedge funds, how do you say? Hedge, they hedge funds. And so, whatever investments that they had, as a church, uh, the Brazil, uh, the Brazil dam was a counter offer or some bullshit. Mm, was interfering with that. So basically, I mean, I don't want to tell the Army Corps of Engineers that they need to beef up security because I can't even prove that, I don't know any of their names. I only know one person's name. And I don't even know if he had an alias. So and I have to go there in person too. That kind of shit. Because if I do phone, it never goes through. So it just upsets me that I tried to give everybody fair warning. If the U.S. Marshals would have gotten them right then and there, they would have been forced to, the other 9 would have been forced to call everything off that was going to happen in Australia. So this dude knows I knows, and there's got to be 9 people that are focused on overpowering me because they're afraid that, well, of course they're afraid. I mean, that's like fucking, they just destroyed a whole fucking dam out in Brazil. And they have plans to, they already did a transformer out in New York. So they basically made some bad financial decisions. And now they're resorting to complete sabotage in order to save their financial investments, which they should just take a loss, but I don't care. See, I read all these FEMA certificates, and when I see a whole church destroying dams in Australia and Brazil so that their investments go up and shit like that, or whatever they have investments, do good. We ain't got time for all that shit. I swear to God, anything happens here, motherfuckers will start getting fucking. I know who's doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Who is to say I wouldn't steal a police tank and break a few good prisoners out of jail to arrest them, put them in jail? Oh, you bet your ass I would. I'd free up a whole jail. Look, all y'all party? Okay, well, these motherfuckers, they're the ones that really need to be here. That kind of shit. So it's sad because I mean these people are so good. They have the United Nations helping them. They have Paper Trail. They have Facebook. Priscilla Chan, helping them with this. Just being visible. I mean, you could literally go up there. You could have like 10 security cameras in one place, and that one person that is sabotaging everything, never see him on there, which is fucked up. Because it's a clusterfuck to deal with. And I'm sitting there looking stupid calling U.S. Marshals over some dude named Frederick McLean. That is Frederick McLean. And they totally let him go because he overpowered him, one little fucking aerosol. And I warned him. Hmm. Hmm. Your fucking fault. But I have to warn the Army Corps of Engineers because if I don't, I'm gonna feel responsible. And if something did happen, mentally speaking, it would fall back on me. It already happened in Australia, and Prime Minister Scott Morrison was fucking pissed. I was too, because I was like, I can't believe they actually had their eyes on Australia. Fuck. Fuck it.